call to order, opening the meeting with I guess we do the pledge on Zoom, do we? I think so, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tor has the flag.
Right.
I pledge allegiance
To
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Right. Okay. I think, Joy, mission statement. Or shall I do it?
Yeah, you do it.
1 minute. Just let's hold it.
23.
The duly appointed Newbury Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee is responsible for conducting an investigation to determine the desirability and feasibility of establishing a local historic district inclusive of the Newbury Lower Green, considering the historic significance of all buildings, structures, features, sites and surroundings that would be included in such proposed local historic district. The purpose and goals is to protect the historic Newbury Lower Green and the natural and built environment surrounding it for future generations to enjoy and experience the visual sense of the history of our town. A Lower Green historic district a Lower Green local historic district will create a neighborhood stabilization and community pride and forever provide Newbury school children with a playing field and educational opportunities. The intent of this local historic district is to maintain and conserve the settings of those buildings and the places and to encourage new designs compatible with existing buildings in the district. Okay. Review and approving the minutes from the previous meeting, which thank you, Joy, for sending that round.
And Ellie.
There are two meetings. Yes, two meetings. So
two
the
meetings.
April 10th regular meeting and then the April 13th public hearing.
Public hearing. Okay.
Oh.
Any?
I move to approve the April 10th meeting.
A second.
And okay.
All in favor?
Cool.
Aye.
Right.
Okay. So
And we got to do
then,
the 13th too. I
yep.
cut her off.
right. And the 13th.
I move that we accept the April 13th meeting minutes.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Okay. Right.
Sorry.
Debriefing now the meeting itself. Okay.
So,
right. Okay, so Ellie, you weren't there, so we'll comment it. It went on. The attendance was fairly good. We had local representation plus representation from the historic committee and a few others as well, including we had a representation from the select board in the form of Bill DeMeo as chair, who was very positive as well.
Good, wonderful.
There were some questions from the floor, of which we promised to give answers to because we couldn't answer all the questions. And I haven't got them in front of me yet, but
were they in the minutes? I saw a couple of questions that joined with the minutes.
Yes. Yeah, they were. If you can go through, and we did promise to make sure they got to the property owner who raised them in writing. So
okay, so let's go through these
okay.
questions then to make sure that we do address them.
Yep.
All right, so there was a question from High Road resident Lori Clark, who had a question about signage, future membership to the committee, temporary structures, as well as adjustments to be made for ADUs, accessory dwelling units.
And a fence.
And privacy fences. Okay, so that is a lot of questions.
Yes.
Okay, so can you elaborate on the question about signage?
So signage and temporary structures, she will want to build like a farm stand because she has quite a large piece of property and a large, beautiful garden behind her house. So I believe that, she may want to sell jams and jellies and, breads or produce or whatever. And so what I said was that as what we've talked about is a temporary signage is fine. Seasonal, temporary signage is fine.
I believe that's correct, but because we're being recorded, then this is an official meeting. Let's make sure that that is what the bylaw says. Has anyone checked?
Right. Yeah, have you got one in front of you?
I am bringing it up and searching for temporary because I know that as specifically called out.
Yes.
So temporary signs or structures to be in use for no more than 90 days, so 3 months essentially, are an exclusion. So limitation, an exception from review, correct. However, subject to conditions as to location, lighting, if there are lights, removal, and similar matters as the commission may reasonably specify, and provided that the location and specifications of said temporary signs and structures are in accordance with the rules and regulations of the Newbury Historic District Commission. So we do not have specific location or location specifications of temporary signs and structures. So that's easy to be in accordance with that. Yes. So this how I understand this to mean is that temporary signs and structures in use for a season for 90 days or less do not require review by the Historic District Commission, so long as they do not require lights.
Which,
yeah. Anyone else reading that differently?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Yes, Lon.
Polly, I got a question. I missed the beginning when you started reading it. What were the verbs that led into that paragraph that you just read us?
Those are exclusions. So exclusions from review.
Exclusions from review.
Yeah, so that's number 8 in section 66-5, limitations on commission actions and exemptions from review.
So
the following are exempt from review or control by the commission, except as specifically noted. And under that, number 8 is temporary signs or structures to be in use for no more than 90 days.
So my question is, what was, and I think maybe you've answered it here. Are they putting in a stand that they will use for 90 days, but the stand stays, or will
that
the
is
stand
not a
be
temporary
set up?
Structure?
So okay, so
yeah,
okay,
it is irrespective of use. It is the existence of a sign or a structure. If it is a structure that is only designated to be used for 90 days a year, but remains on the property permanently, that is a permanent structure that would require review and approval by a Historic District Commission.
Okay,
as well as I'd imagine different permits to be pulled from the with the town, because they would have foundations. It'd be more permanent. So
yeah, I'm just thinking down the road. We've got a neighbor down the road that has a fruit stand, usually tomatoes and things like this out of our garden, but the stand is there.
Mm-hmm. And like that's well, and that's grandfathered in, right? Existing structures are not.
Well, she's not in this. She's beyond the local.
Okay, well, there's that too, but yeah, okay. Temporary structures.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go back to her on that and see what she says. I mean, she hasn't set anything up, or it's only a what if at the moment. Okay, the second point was.
What may I just break in? So 90 days for a farm stand is not that long.
No.
Because if she starts it in, say, July and goes to October, that would be 120 days.
Then that would require approval. That seems like an easy seasonal approval. Hey, I want to put a stand here, but that would require approval.
Okay. All right.
And that's things like, what is it going to look like? Where is it going to be? That's kind of really it. At that point, it is still a temporary structure. I would expect that, but not by the definition of temporary structure, right? But by that, then I would expect that the commission would probably, as I've seen in past circumstances and other commissions, provide approval contingent or conditional upon its removal at the end of the season. And given like by November 30th, this structure is removed for the season, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is probably what would happen anyway.
Right, exactly. So it's just that kind of legal wording, though, in conditional approvals prevents kind of encroachment to a permanent structure that does not ever get approval.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea behind that.
Okay, so we can.
Okay. The second thing that she brought up was modification, for example, of her barn, which is not really visible by the road. It's in back of her house. But I mean, if you were to stand right in front of her house, you would be able to see the barn. She's looking further down the road and possibly turning that into an ADU. What kind of modification could they, what would hinder that?
Okay, Robin, go for it.
Yeah,
I'm taking
that would be the question of that is interpretation by the committee that's set up. However, I would say beforehand, the barn at the back is not actually visible if you're standing on the green. If you're standing in front of the house on 1A, right in front, exactly as Joy said, it is visible. But from the center of the green, of which is documented in is how we've figured out the properties to be included, you wouldn't see it. It would be masked by the house in front.
I'm going to push back against that and say that local historic districts, by definition, include a review of anything visible from any public way. We have in nowhere in our bylaw or our study report indicated that the line of view essentially is just from the public green, from the lower green. And so any elevation of a structure that is visible from any public way, that includes waterways, right? That includes the river, are subject to review. So if Joy, if there are sections of her barn that are visible from any part of High Road or another public street or park or such, alterations to that would require Historic District Commission review, so long as it's not in kind, right? So if she wants to, add a new door to the barn, or change the fenestration pattern, add some more windows to make it more of a residence, ability to be a residence on the inside, those would require a review by a Historic District Commission. And that would be to prevent things like an entire glass wall, for instance, to be added to a barn that is not in keeping with the historic nature of the barn itself. In that case, the commission would review the parts that are visible, only the parts that are visible.
Right.
How they would still retain the character of the barn while allowing for updated use.
Okay, right. I think we'll put that in a way, the language, when we go back to her.
And it's worth noting, accessory dwelling units are by right structures now by Massachusetts law. So every owner, I don't know the specifics on lot size that allow for this, but every owner that is by zoning law allowed to create an accessory dwelling unit, that overrides any local committee's ability to deny the building of an ADU. However, it's still it does not override a local historic district commission, for example's ability to review the design, location, and size of said ADU.
Right.
And Robin, another comment on what you said. If I recall, when we were first considering what structure would be included in the local historic district, it was not just view from the green, but approaches to the green.
Yeah, approaches to the green. It was my understanding, and I guess I spoke out of turn. It was my understanding that it was main roads, and that, so for example, Cottage Road is a dead end. I didn't realize that it was public way, a public way.
Yes, it's any public way.
What she talked about next was if they want to put up a privacy fence along the Cottage Road side of their property, would that be rejected? But that would be subject to review. Is that correct?
It would. Okay. That's correct. Yes.
And Ellie, she's not on Cottage Road.
Right.
So she's in, but you could see the fence from Cottage Road.
And this is it's within the district, this property.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So anything from, visible from a public way. And that's not a definition that we have decided. That is a definition that is decided by the state. So a local historic district is by definition protecting publicly visible aspects and features of a property. Yeah. And that's and this is in our bylaw. This is on the definition section that includes parks, green spaces, roads, paths, not just private paths, but public paths, and waterways.
Okay.
Right. It's the idea that anywhere that the public might be passing through Newbury and therefore experience this area, this lower green district, that it would be that experience is protected, not just from a specific spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave her the wrong information then. Yeah.
So to answer that with a privacy fence, if it is visible, then yes, it would require review. That's not to say that it wouldn't be approved or not, right?
Yeah.
It's a matter of how high is it? What is it going to look like? What is it made of?
And because it is actually not on Cottage Road, it's in between the next door and the neighbour's one. It's largely not visible in summer when there's a lot of foliage anyway, because you can't get through. So whereas it is visible in winter.
Yeah, and that's something that's at discretion of the commission, right? They can say, hey, this isn't the main public thoroughfare. This does not change or alter the agrarian appearance of this neighborhood or of this area, and that is something that that's what the point of a commission is for, is to not put a blanket statement out there, but to be able to take in the nuance of a location.
It falls on the commission to interpret how severe or not any restriction like that would be.
Right, but yes, it would be reviewed.
So it would be reviewable, which I think how we will have to structure these comments back that it explains it as well.
Yeah.
Which we'll do. Yeah. Okay, and the next one was to do with signage, I think, wasn't it, Joy?
No, we jumped over the signage with the structure thing.
It was my understanding temporary signage, or was this permanent signage the question referring to?
No, temporary.
Okay, temporary signage is under the same.
Temporary signage, temporary structure.
Yeah.
The ADU.
Okay, right.
Yeah, the ADU. So it was my understanding with the ADU that the Massachusetts law would, I hate this word, trump the they would be able to put in an ADU. However, the design would be reviewable.
That is correct. Okay. And location and size.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And that's also not just a historic district. So in that case, if someone were to, I don't know, Robin, let's say your property, you want to build an ADU on your property, you are by rights allowed to do that. We're trying to increase density of building, livable building stock without making massive, big apartment complexes all over the state, right? That's the idea, intention with this law. You are allowed to do so. However, what I do not know, not giving legal advice here, what I do not know is how that how that interfaces with local zoning law. So if Newbury's zoning bylaw states that, no more than X amount of dwellings per square feet, or you have to have this amount of setback, or those kind of restrictions, I don't know how those work with an ADU. That is for the planning board and the zoning board of appeals to evaluate. But saying that, yes, they're allowed to have one, and let's say that all of the other zoning ordinances are either bypassed by this new law or are you within those rights, then the Historic District Commission cannot reject the proposal to build an ADU.
Okay.
What they may do, though, is review the designs and say, well, have you considered, creating this sort of building that makes it look like an outbuilding to your house, or maybe let's take the cupola off the top because this isn't a barn, or like those kind of design suggestions and ideas to make it fit within the character of the area.
And also the materials.
Correct. Yes.
We talked about, like the Lower Green schoolhouse used a material that is visually similar to the shapes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that allows the commission to take into account modern materials as they come on the market that we don't know of now. So for instance, Historic New England, there's a property within our easement program, which is slightly similar to a review of a historic district commission, but we also review interiors and everything. So not just visible from the street. And with that, it's a new build on a historic property. We allowed them to use aluminum clad windows that were simulated divided lights instead of true divided light windows, acknowledging that cost was exponentially higher for those types of windows and not as energy efficient. And because it was a new build, they look similar enough that they will be representative of that type of window. So that's the kind of nuance that it allows.
Okay.
Right. That's good. Okay. Any other questions?
The next one was for solar panels. That was by another citizen. So what they brought up was, visible to the road, and what was it? Southern exposure, southern.
That's the most useful.
Yeah, southern, western, whatever. But what if, they were to put it on a roof that faces a public way? So what we said is, what Robin said was, there are solar panels that mock shingles,
Those are terrible. I'm just putting that out there. Those are absolutely horrible. They do not look like roofs at all. They look like TV screens on a roof.
Oh no.
Right, okay.
That's just I've seen them in real life. They are not, they do not look like roofs. However, they're getting better. However, solar panels are reversible. And this was something that I do believe. So solar panels that are not visible from, here's what our bylaw states about solar panels.
Yeah.
Under 66.5, limitations on commission actions and exemptions from review. Section B, the following are exempt from review or control by the commission, except as specifically noted. Number 5, solar panels and other existing or future energy sources, unless their position is attached to a street-facing elevation or between a street-facing elevation and the public way, whereby the location of said installation is subject to review by the Newbury Historic District Commission. So what we decided on with that was, you can put solar panels anywhere on your property if you can't see them, or even if you can see them from the public way, if they're not on the primary facade, that front elevation. If you want to put them on your front elevation, you got to come talk to the Historic District Commission. I personally, and I do believe that the preservation movement at large needs to move towards accepting solar panels as a viable source of energy usage, because they are reversible.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
And what I would suggest reviewing, as the commission review, is the kind of the layout of the solar panels, and if they're on the south facing, say, again, Robin, I'm picking on your house, but your south facing primary facade or roof slope, that they are in a uniform shape, as opposed to like that Tetris look of one here, one here, one here, one here, and or encouraging them to have a low profile. That's all. Other than that, to be honest, I really think that this is something that we as a movement need to move past and accept as an energy source that provides no bigger impact on a building than a generator or a condenser next to the building.
Right.
And just a comment, the individual that brought the question up their residence is not in the historic district.
Sure.
Which is a general question.
Okay. So again, that's sort of a wider interpretation falls on the Historic Commission.
And a lot of what I've just said is not specifically in the bylaw, right? It's kind of left to review.
Right.
Something that Michael Steinitz from the Massachusetts Historical Commission suggested at one point or another, or expected, is that once the commission is set up, they create their kind of preservation philosophy, if you will,
Right.
kind of the code of how to evaluate these things, so that they provide a standard approach across the entire district, and there's something to kind of work on that is separate from a bylaw. That is kind of what I'm talking about what is the philosophy, what, instead of just saying I don't like solar panels on your roof, so I'm going to say no, is
Right.
what are the standards of evaluation to make sure that those are kind of set and publicly available. So these are things that a future commission would write down.
Okay.
I like the expression that you used with the overriding philosophy of the commission. I like that.
I think we will. I think that's all of them, is it, Joy?
Yes.
I think we're obligated to go back to the residents with the comments related to those questions. So we just got it down, and I think we should come up with something which I'll start on. Shall I draft out?
That would be,
if you
could draft, I'd be happy to review it, Robin.
Yeah, and then send round to everyone to edit accordingly. Okay.
Kelly, stop.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's yelling at his dog.
Trying to make a nest out of my rug. I'm sorry.
What is your dog's name?
Kelly.
Oh, sorry. It sounds very much like my name.
Ellie, stop it.
Yeah, I was like, stop what?
Down, Ellie.
Okay, and I think that probably is everything.
For that meeting.
For that meeting, yep.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And then you wanted to bring up the new addition.
Okay, right.
So hold on, just one kind of, because I want it in record.
Yep.
Was anything said, brought up at the public hearing that needs that substantively changes the town warrant that would prevent us from going to town meeting in less than 2 weeks?
No, it was just clarification on points.
Okay.
But it seems that the clarification would be something for the new Lower Green Local Historic District Commission to answer. Most of it seems like reviewable by that commission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so setting up a standard for review is super important.
Yes, we that was question was asked of us by the select board chairman as well. Exactly what the point you made. And he also then stated that on the docket for the town meeting, we are item 24 and 25, I think. So we're, I'm afraid, relatively far down on this approval, which it's what it is. And there's a reason why it's so far down. It's to do with bylaw changes, which tend to be pushed to the back of the town meeting, because the earlier points on the docket are always relate to finance and money, raising money and things like that. And it's so we can't elevate it any higher.
Okay.
The potential consequences of that is the makeup of the audience changes as you go through the meeting.
Of course. So voters, looking at the three of you on the screen, I am hoping that you will bring as many supporters as you can, kind of on side, and encourage them to stay, because that's super risky, right? With decreased numbers, that could very quickly sway a vote, because 2/3 majority is what it is. Could you, those of you who have been to these town meetings before, how many people tend to go to the meeting at the beginning?
About 200.
A few hundred.
250. Probably.
Okay, and then have you stayed to the end? And if so, how many people?
Yes. And it's about 50 at the end or something. It diminishes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been to several. Okay.
Can the select board, while they're there, vote?
They'll be there for and they're on side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So
okay.
On the so we've got next step, public comments. Now, well, so the next steps. Subsequent to the meeting, I was approached by one resident to have his property included in it on High Road, and a property is eligible, 1731 established. It's single chimney, central chimney, so it ticks all the boxes, and it was on the cusp of whether we were going to include it or not. It is visible from the green itself. We didn't include it because it was on the cusp and it would be relevant. So I have gone to Michael Steinitz of the historic, the Deputy State Historic Preservation Officer, and I'll read back his response this morning. He said, and because we haven't put it in the preliminary, in the main report, we haven't done it. He's come back and said the preliminary report is just that. So changes can certainly occur to the proposed boundary resulting from the public hearing or further discussion with property owners. The change can be noted in your final report. Hope all continues to go well as you prepare for the town meeting. So
that is fantastic, and thank you, Michael, for your rapid response.
Right. Yes, it was.
It's a beautiful gambrel home.
I believe when we first discussed it, it was we couldn't get in contact with the owners at the time or weren't sure. We wanted 100% owner buy-in, right? And so I think that was ultimately why we decided to play it safe and
we did
draw the boundary where it was. So that's wonderful that they've been in touch.
And it's on the cusp of the boundary, so it just extends the boundary. So
and this is 269 High Road. Do I have that right?
Good question. I've got it.
I think you emailed me 261, and that does not exist.
I think no. Just for the record, we better get the right.
Yeah, I believe it's 269
number. I have got it. So
I just have the one without the numbers on it. So yeah, let me look it up.
I could get it on my phone probably.
And I have got it.
I looked it up via tax map yesterday because you had sent me the owner's name.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I will. Just hang on a minute. I've got it all down here.
Uh, 269 High Road is owned by John Ferrara.
Yes.
Correct.
And Mark.
Okay, yes. So if you can
yes.
If you could note that, and if I can ask you to it's a very small adjustment.
Yeah, they unfortunately take time, but I will update the maps.
Final. And I will go back and confirm to him that's okay. He's also going to be able to support. The other thing.
One moment before we move on from that, it's not just the map that needs to be updated. The inventory does as well, which is easy to do. I'm happy to do that. But we also need a current photo of the property as well as a paragraph drafted of its historical significance to be added into the report. Can someone draft that?
I've already done the photograph.
Okay.
I've got that, and so that I can send to you, and I will do a significant report as well, which I'll send as well. Okay. Right, where are we on the okay, I think what have we got next? To report that Joy and I presented to the Open Space Committee earlier this week, informing them of, as they were holding a committee meeting, where we are and progress, as two of the areas, the green itself and the landing and space around it, where the dock is, are part of the open space committee's reviewing. And they are, so they're now appraised of what we're doing, the whole, the fact it's on the town docket for discussion, and are completely on side and have not raised any comments, points, or anything else. So it's sort of like just making sure, as part of the whole process, is to make sure everyone is clued into what's going on. So that's just to be noted. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I think, where are we now? Any comments from the public here?
I have one more thing. I have one more thing to say. So I will be writing the letter to the editor / as I see it column. I will be writing that this weekend. I'll send it by Monday to everyone to look at. And,
what newspaper?
just so the Daily News, the Newburyport Daily News.
Thank you.
And
sorry,
and also I can send it to the town common. You have,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. To just, sort of rah the troops to please come to the meeting. I won't tell them that it's number 24 out of 27, but, just to give a background on what we've done, why we're doing it, who we are, that kind of thing. But I'll send it round to the committee to look at, and, you edit as you want, send me, comments, and I'll get it into the paper. I've already spoken with the editor at the Newburyport Daily News, and, when he gets it, he'll put it right in. So
how often does that newspaper run?
Daily. Well,
Daily.
Oh, it says it in its name. Just wasn't
it's
sure.
5 days a week. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, Newburyport semi-daily news. Yeah.
When would you expect to, like, Joy, what day are you hoping it runs? Tuesday.
So the closer it is to town meeting, the better it is for us.
Okay.
But I was looking at getting it to the committee by Monday, and then submitting it like by the end of next week.
Okay.
To be in the paper that week.
Okay, so the 4th, right? Ideally, if they have one on the 4th, or if they have their Sunday paper on the 3rd.
There's not a Sunday paper, but I want to try and get in. I think it would be too close if it were, the 4th. I think, because sometimes people don't get to the paper that soon.
Okay, so maybe the 2nd.
Yeah, at least by the 2nd.
Okay.
And I have a question too when Joy's done before we adjourn.
Oh, I have another additional as well. So
go ahead.
All right, thank you, Joy. We look forward to reading that copy. And if they add, I don't know if they add any photos, but if they ask for a photo, I think one of the Lower Green schoolhouse would be great.
The schoolhouse one, yeah.
Wonderful. That's call to action. Save our history.
Yeah, and then I have to submit a picture of me, so I have one when I was 18. And so anyway, yeah. What were you going to say, Lon?
I've got a question on the town meeting. Are we going to have a little paragraph or two that we start out so they'll present it, they'll open it, read it. Are we going to have one of us be the first person at the mic to kind of explain ourselves and what we are and what we've done?
Can I just say I was going to discuss this with the chair, Bill DeMeo, and how he wants to do that. The issue is these things have to be done very carefully, because normally what people get up to the mic and they spout on for half an hour or something, and the whole public lose interest. Basically, it's got to be punchy, and it's almost better coming from him, as it's America 250 as something the town are doing.
Yeah.
If he then calls upon anyone else, but I think we have time to discuss how they want to do it. I mean, they are holding the annual town meeting. It's not up to us. It's up to what they want to do. So I take your point, Lon, but it's so much has been done that to go and recite it all over again.
Well, my comment is, actually, they may be running the meeting, but they have to. It's an open mic before they take any vote. So
yes, but
all you do is stand in line and you get a chance to speak.
Well, I think you're right. That's any member of the public can go and do that afterwards. Yeah, and depending on whether that happens, then we would have to be ready if there are any arguments suddenly coming up.
Well, I'm suggesting instead of waiting to see if anything happens, we have 2 paragraphs.
Yeah,
we're the first at the mic.
Yeah.
My suggestion with this is, first a question: how many mics are there?
One.
Are they interspersed around an auditorium, or is there just one mic?
You got to stand in line and up in the front.
That's the
way it usually works. There's usually just one mic, and then there are the presenters, and then there's the one mic for public.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, I agree with Lon. I do believe that we should have a very quick, in like 3 sentences, why should you vote yes? Yeah. As the study committee, why should you vote yes? To your point, Robin, very punchy. We don't need to get into the background of the committee. We don't need to talk about the bylaw or what it means. This is a very high view, appeal to people's emotions, appeal to their voting instinct. Explain this does not, this is not costing any taxpayer dollars. It is every owner, every property within the proposed district is on board and has agreed to be part of this. And this is a monumental opportunity to protect what we love about Newbury, about our community, for our children, for the community at large, for the future of the community of the town. That's it. That's all I'd say. And then you can respond if needed. But
I think to your point, exactly that is maybe what the chair of the select board may ask someone to start off that. So it was sort of really having the discussion with him whether he wants to do it himself. So you're right. I think, but we get our bullet points organized first, which we. Okay.
So may I break in? So Ellie, I was looking at the wrong calendar. So I will send the letter to the committee by Monday. If I could have Monday the 27th, if I could have any comments or corrections by the 29th, and I'll submit it to either the 30th or the 1st for the paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So getting into the paper by the 2nd,
I thought there was another week in there, but I'm.
Nope. We do not. There is less than 2 weeks till town meeting. Yeah.
Now, shall we have another quick meeting beforehand? Like on the 4th or something, just to.
I think we have to, because we've got to clear the final draft report.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think technically we need a vote to include that new property.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lon, good call. Robin, it sounds like you're going to be talking with Bill. What's his last name?
DeMayo.
Thank you. I was going to put an S in there. I was like, nope. I think that's a previous mayor of New York. Okay.
I'll do that. And I got one other thing which you raised a point on, which is very valid. Is there's a new historic marker gone on the lower green? Yeah. Which I think you're right. We don't need to put it in any extra words.
So I'm not sure if Rob or Lon and Joy are up on this or have seen it. You probably have, but so there's a new marker that's on the lower green commemorating Marquis de Lafayette's
Trail. Yes.
Okay. This was not something that we knew about, so weren't kind of part of the planning or installation process. It sounds like it's a part of a larger statewide effort.
Countrywide.
Countrywide. Okay,
Yes.
effort again because it's Rev 250. It's 2026. It's not a historic marker, and so my argument was that we can note that it's there, and obviously if this commission, or I'm sorry, if this local historic district had already been in place, it is something that that the commission would have reviewed because it's a permanent marker. But it is there, it is installed. But I do not think we need to include it in our monuments index because it is not a historic monument. The others are all actual historic monuments dedicated to historic things too. But
right. Heads up for you, the Historic Commission did not know about this.
You didn't either?
Notified.
No.
Okay. All right. So that's the Historic District Commission in the future would be.
There was some concrete and a metal rod out there.
Yeah. Okay. And it's
not very happy.
I can imagine that's something that we like to put preservation at the table to discuss and have a say in. But it is done. It is there, and commemorating a piece of
tasteful,
area's history.
It's
tasteful. I saw it, and it sounds like that's probably like I'm gonna guess that if it's part of a series, the whole series look alike.
It is part of 220
identifiable.
From Virginia up to Maine.
Wonderful, cool.
And yes, okay. Just so we've noted it that it's there, and right. Okay. Before we set the next meeting, Bill, any observations, comments you want to add?
No, I've just been listening, try to gather information. It sounds like all of this will be an article at town meeting, so I was interested to learn that.
Yes.
No comments really.
While you're on, I did send you a link to certain relevant bits in the Massachusetts Historic Commission, which you may want to have.
Yes, I received that. Thank you. I will look into that.
Okay, as it may be relevant. Good. Thank you very much, and appreciate your input. Right. So, everyone, any other business?
Nope.
Okay. We'll do one follow-up meeting.
Yeah.
Before town meeting, just to officially approve the inclusion of the approve the new boundary map and edits to the study report to include 269 High Road within its boundaries. That if we could hold on Monday, May 4th at 11 a.m. via Zoom.
Monday, May 4th. Whoa, yes.
Monday,
Does that
May
work?
4th. I cannot do 11.
Okay, what time works?
I can do 10.
10
or
works
I can do later. I can do after 2.
I cannot. I have nope, that does not work for me.
Or Friday the 1st.
Nope,
no,
I'm booked
okay.
that day as well. The 4th would be preferable.
Thursday the 30th.
Nope.
No.
And plus, besides that, we're kind of pushing into time where we can work on our work on those amendments.
Yeah.
What about
the
10?
4th at 10?
That works for me. Does it work for Robin and Lon?
Yep, fine with me.
Yep. So
Okay,
10 a.m.
Via Zoom.
Yeah.
Before we log off finally and adjourn this meeting, I just wanted to confirm or ask if there was anything. It sounds like there was a little bit of trouble getting the link for today's meeting.
Yes.
I did. Was that agenda not available on the website for you guys?
I didn't realize that it was on the agenda. I just look at what's going on, and so that was my fault. Yeah,
I've sometimes struggled to. I ask because the town website was updated. The back end of it as well has also completely changed. So I want to confirm that it is visible where it should be on the town website.
Okay.
So that's why, because they're always on the agenda. So you should find the agenda, but I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that they come up with future what's going on.
That was on me. Yeah, that was on me. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called laziness.
That's not it.
You got
all right.
Got there in the end, right? Okay. Okay, so we've got a bit of work to do.
We do indeed. Please reach out, anyone, if you have if there are questions. Let's stay in touch about when things get done, just so that we all have a heads up on that. A heads up as to my schedule. I am basically out of office all next week with other work, so I will be sporadic in terms of email response. But I will be monitoring and try and get my parts done as soon as possible.
Right. Okay.
So are you coming to town meeting?
Oh,
I
am one. I'm not a voter, but two, Joy, I'm closing on a property that day. So,
yay! Wonderful. In Hawaii.
In Colorado, so not too far off.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, I hope that goes well.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just say I'll send over information on the new property as I get it in, right? Because I've already got the photograph.
Yeah, you can send that over. I can add that in, and then if you send copy on the narrative, I can add that in as well.
Okay, right. I think if nothing else, then
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Great. Well done, everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care.